Hello everyone, Simon here with a review of Snakeybus. PlayStation 4 version you see on your screen, but it's also available on PC and Xbox One. If you've never played a Snake game before, where were you when mobiles took off and that was the only game that you had to play? Maybe probably some of you weren't born. But essentially you would play as a snake and you'd go around a small enclosed space and you'd eat apples to boost up your score. But every apple that you'd eat would add an extra pixel block to your snake, so the snake would get longer and longer. The game would be over if you ran into yourself because it was ever moving forward. So what you'd have to do is be patient and try and work the longest way around to get to the apple without blocking yourself in and causing a game over. Snakeybus takes that exact same concept but applies it to picking up and delivering of passengers in different levels. And it's such a balmy concept, but I love it so much. There's different arenas and different levels, and they're all set out to give you unique challenges depending on what you're doing. Some of the city ones have loads and loads of crossover sections. So it could be that you're diving back and forth and you kind of get a bit greedy trying to pick up passengers and dropping them off quickly. But what you'll find is that your bus will continue to extend, and when you need to try and turn around and get round hairpins and little back alleys, all of a sudden your bus's ass is right in front of you and you're thinking, oh no! And that's when you might need to use the jump button, or even better still, plan out your routes so that you understand exactly how you can get around different locations. The longest way possible, but also to leave as much of the level attackable and accessible for you. The levels are really well designed in that fact, and some of them have little ramps so that you can do little jumps over yourself. Some of them, particularly the one where there's circular orbs, almost like the rings of Saturn, and I think it's just called the rings level to be honest, allows you to constantly run side by side with yourself, but you need to be inch perfect in your driving precision, because if you jut out, your old 300 carriage bus will jut out the next time you go around and it will bash you off the side. So you need to be really precise in what you're doing with that. Other levels like the Paris one or the village one revolves on all of those crossover and intersections and you understanding the layout of the levels as you go. They all have their own challenges, they are all good fun, and it's all kind of meme-worthy but good. There is a spate of games, and it seems to be a new craze, is to have a really quirky, crazy idea and then just be absolute junk in the execution of it. But Snakeybus has an absolutely crazy idea, but nails the delivery of it. The driving works really well. It's precise enough so that you can be, you can really plan out your route, and you don't feel like the game is punishing you for dodgy physics. Sometimes I feel oh, it's crazy physics, and it's just a really poor excuse to not do something properly. Here with Snakeybus, it really delivers on the doing properly. And with the levels and the unlockable buses, which do change up some of your gameplay because some of them are taller than others, and some I think are thinner than others, which then makes you help or hinder depending on what you're doing. It just adds extra charm to a really enjoyable high score online leaderboard experience. There's several ways that I recommend playing this game. Firstly, if you've got people around, which I appreciate is probably a bit unusual at the current time of recording, but later on, you can all do high score challenges and winner gets to drink a shot. Or you can play solo and go up against yourself and other people on the online leaderboards. There's no specific multiplayer to speak of, but that's because the bus gets so massive, I can imagine it being quite difficult to render it all and keep it all going. That being said, the PlayStation 4 version holds up really well against the PC version, because I was able to have I think I've had 500-600 carriage buses, and there's no particular slowdown. It's able to remember where I've been and keep it all running at a really decent frame rate. So I was really quite impressed with that for what is a small indie title. But yeah, there's not really tons to say, except if you've not come across this game before, I implore you to go and grab it, because it is one of those balmy offset games that actually does everything right and is so much better than it has any goddamn right to be. And those are some of the games that I treasure and love the most. So yeah, Snakeybus, out now. I've bought it twice. I think that's a good recommendation. Any comments or suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. I will have a written review over on higherplayinggames.com. And you guys take care and happy snaking. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a collection of media projects ran by me. If you like what you see and want to find out more, visit patreon.com/higherplane-network. Your support can make so much more possible, be that a like, a comment, a share, or a pledge. Thanks for watching.